Portugal fans, the situation is simple, but at the same time, it's absolutely terrifying. Heading into the final match day, Portugal sit second in Group K with 4 points, while Colombia are already leading the group with 6 points. That means everything comes down to Portugal versus Colombia. Win changes everything. A draw or a defeat changes everything as well. And depending on the result, Portugal could face some very tricky opponents in the round of 32. Let's break it all down. Right now, Colombia are first with 6 points. Portugal are second with 4. So Portugal still control their own destiny. Beat Colombia and jump to the top of the group. Fail to beat Colombia and they will most likely remain second. And the path ahead becomes completely different. This is probably the result Portuguese fans want. If Portugal defeat Colombia, they move into first place and qualify as Group K winners. That means they will face one of the best third place teams. The possible opponents would come from Group D, E, I, J, L. And trust me, there are some dangerous teams hiding in those third place spots. Let's talk about Group D. The battle here is mainly between Australia and Paraguay. Australia are one of those teams that don't need much possession, they don't need many chances. They sit back, absorb pressure, and then punish you on the counterattacks. Against a Portugal side that likes to dominate the ball, Australia could be very annoying. Then there is Paraguay, and honestly, they play some of the dirtiest football I've seen in this tournament. They break rhythm, they waste time, they frustrate people, they make games ugly, and they have a way of dragging better teams into a fight. If Paraguay finished third, they could be a nightmare draw. Group E. This group is complete chaos. The contenders are Ivory Coast, Ecuador, and Curacao. And let's start with Ivory Coast. I genuinely think they have been unlucky. They were so close to beating Germany. They've shown they can compete with elite nations like Germany, physically strong, fast, direct, very dangerous. And there is Ecuador. And honestly, they've been my biggest disappointment of the tournament. I expected much more from them. The talent is there, the quality is there, but so far they just haven't delivered. Still, if they somehow sneak through, Portugal would have to be careful. And then we have Curacao, one of the biggest stories of this World Cup. Nobody expected them to be in this conversation, but their passion and energy have been incredible. A small nation playing with absolutely nothing to lose. Group I. This one is likely between Senegal and Iraq. Personally, I don't think Group I will provide one of the best third place teams, but if it does, they are the candidates. Senegal would obviously be the tougher draw. They have experience, physicality, speed, and plenty of players competing at the highest level. Iraq, meanwhile, have already surprised a lot of people. They've shown incredibly fighting spirit throughout the tournament, even losing the first 2 games. Group J, Austria or Algeria. That's the battle. Austria looked organized and disciplined. They press well, they work hard, and they can cause problems for anybody. Algeria, meanwhile, have some of the most passionate support in this tournament, and when they get momentum, they are incredibly difficult to stop. Neither would be an easy opponent. Group L. Now, this one is fascinating because the candidates are Ghana and Croatia. And let's start with Ghana. They are the team that made England drop points in their second game. Nobody expected that. They are athletic, explosive, and dangerous in transitions. Then there is Croatia, the experienced veterans, the team that finished third at the last World Cup. They know exactly how to manage tournament football. You can never count Croatia out, ever. The second scenario is Portugal draw or lose to Colombia. Now, this is where things become much simpler, but maybe even more dangerous. If Portugal fail to beat Colombia, they will most likely finish second in the group. And that means they will face the second place team from Group L. So, Portugal round of 32 opponent would be either Ghana or Croatia. That's it. Two very different challenges. Let's start with Ghana. If Ghana finishes second, Portugal could be looking at one of the most athletic teams in the competition. They are fast wingers, aggressive pressing, dangerous counterattacks, and a team playing with confidence after already proving they can compete with England. They would be very tricky opponent. Then there is Croatia, the team nobody ever wants to see in a knockout match. Experience, leadership, tournament know-how. They've been through every possible situation. Extra time, penalties, pressure moments. Croatia simply know how to survive, and that's what makes them dangerous. My final thoughts about this is Portugal's final group game against Colombia isn't just about finishing first, it's about controlling their World Cup destiny. Win the group and you open the door to a huge variety of possible opponents. Australia, Paraguay, Ivory Coast, Ecuador, Curacao, Senegal, Iraq, Austria, Algeria, Ghana, or Croatia. Fail to beat Colombia and the question becomes much simpler. Are we playing Ghana or playing Croatia? One game, one result. And Portugal's entire World Cup path could change. So what do you think? Should Portugal push hard for first place? And which opponent would you least want to see if you're a Portuguese or Portugal fan? Let me know in the comments.